Hey mga kamatics! Okay, so we are now in quarter 3, module 5, lesson 4, differentiation rule. Okay, so this is the continuation of lesson 2 and lesson 3. Okay, so we have here the learning competency. Apply the differentiation rules in computing the derivatives of trigonometric and inverse trigonometric functions. Okay, so we have here the objective. Apply the rules of differentiation in finding the derivatives of trigonometric and inverse trigonometric functions. Okay, so the derivatives of trigonometric functions. There are 6 trigonometric functions, so we have here the derivatives of the 6 trigonometric functions. Okay, first is the derivative of sine x over dx is equal to cosine x. For letter B, the derivative of cosine x over dx is equal to negative sine x. Letter C, the derivative of tangent x over dx is equal to secant squared x. For letter D, we have the derivative of cotangent x over dx is equal to negative cosecant squared x. For letter E, we have the derivative of secant x over dx is equal to secant x times tangent x. For letter F, the last one, the derivative of cosecant x over dx is equal to cosecant x times cotangent x. We have here the example. Differentiate the following functions. Okay, given for number 1, f of x equals secant x plus 3 cos secant x. Okay, so to find the first derivative of that given function, so the derivative of secant x is secant x times tangent x. So meaning to say that you will not write secant x, but you have to write the derivative of secant x, which is secant x times tangent x plus 3 times the derivative of cos secant x, which is negative cos secant x cotangent x. Okay, so therefore, the first derivative of f of x is equal to secant x times tangent x minus 3 cos secant x times cotangent x. Okay, so another example, the g of x equals x squared times sine x minus 3x times cosine x plus 5 sine x. So meaning to say that x squared times sine x, you have to identify what is the value of u and the value of v. Since that is multiplication, so meaning to say that we are going to use the product rule, which is in the lesson number 2. So the value of u is x squared and the value of v is sine x. So meaning you are going to write first the value of u, which is x squared, and the value of the derivative of v, or the derivative of sine x, is cosine x plus the value of v, which is sine x, and the derivative of u, which is u is x squared, so meaning the derivative of u is 2x minus 3 times the value of u, which is x, and the value of v is cosine x, so meaning the derivative of cosine x is negative sine x plus v, which is cosine x, times the derivative of v, which is x, so the derivative of x is 1, plus 5, the derivative of sine x is cosine x. Okay, so we have here, we are going to multiply x squared times cosine x, because x squared is the value of u, and cosine x is the value of v, or the derivative of sine x. So x squared times cosine x, the result is x squared cosine x plus v, which is sine x, times the derivative of u, the value of u is x squared, so derivative of x squared is 2x. So sine x times 2x, the result is 2x sine x. Minus 3 times the value of u, which is x, and the derivative of v, or the derivative of cosine x, is negative sine x, plus v cosine x times the derivative of x is 1. So multiply, that is 3 times x, that is 3x, times negative sine x. So negative 3x times negative sine x, the result is positive 3x sine x. Then negative 3 multiplied by cosine x times 1, the result is negative 3 cosine x, plus 5 times cosine x, the result is 5 cosine x. Then you have to combine all similar terms. So the first term here is x squared cosine x, plus the similar terms of 2x sine x is 3x sine x. Since both are positive, so the result is 5x sine x. Then another similar terms, negative 3 cosine x plus positive cosine x. So the result is positive 2 cosine x. So the value now of the g of x, or the first derivative of g of x, is equal to x squared cosine x plus 5x sine x plus 2 cosine x. Okay, next is the derivative of inverse trigonometric function. So we have here the value of the inverse trigonometric function. For the derivative of inverse sine x over dx is equal to the first derivative of x over the square root of 1 minus x squared. The second one, the derivative of the inverse cosine x over dx is equal to negative first derivative of x over the square root of 1 minus x squared. For letter C, we have the derivative of inverse tangent x over dx is equal to the first derivative of x over 1 plus x squared. Letter D, we have the derivative of inverse cotangent x over dx is equal to negative first derivative of x over 1 plus x squared. For letter E, we have the derivative of inverse secant x over dx is equal to first derivative of x over the absolute value of x times the square root of x squared minus 1. For letter F, we have the derivative of cos secant, or the inverse cos secant x over dx is equal to negative first derivative of x over the absolute value of x times the square root of x squared minus 1. Okay, so we have here another example. F of x equals the inverse cotangent of 3x. Okay, so we have to identify the value of x, which is 3x, and the first derivative of x is 3. Okay, so the first derivative of the inverse cotangent of 3x, that is the negative first derivative of x over 1 plus x squared. Okay, we have to substitute the given. Okay, so the value of negative, or the first derivative of x is 3, since that is negative first derivative of x, so the value of first derivative of x now is negative 3 over 1 plus the value of x is 3x squared. Okay, so first derivative of f of x is negative 3 all over 1 plus 9x squared. Okay, so what's more? We have here find the derivatives of the following functions. So you are going to solve this given exercises so that you can solve the derivatives of the given inverse and trigonometric functions. Okay, thank you for listening. Do not forget to click the subscribe button.